say it on your end?
There we go. Now it does.
Yeah.
Hi, today we're talking about the one big lie that keeps you stuck. We'll talk about how to know if you're being smart and cautious or if you're self-sabotaging and being avoidant. We're going to give you 3 simple steps to get yourself out of your own way and start taking action. Welcome to the Burnout Boundaries and Finding Alignment in Your Business, a weekly conversation we have.
Yeah, I'm Annie Kip. Yeah, Dana, go ahead. You say.
I'm a certified professional coach who works with purpose-driven humans navigating change, burnout, big decisions, life transitions, business alignment, and simply wanting more of themselves back in their life and work.
Yeah, and we are longtime friends and colleagues. I'm Annie Kip, and I work with professionals and leaders who are feeling like they are getting in their own way at this point and really want to experience more clarity and confidence in their professional and personal lives.
Yes.
So today, this is something that's come up for our clients frequently, and we were laughing also that it comes up for ourselves a lot. So we have lots of experience in this area.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a human experience to find yourself feeling stuck, not taking action, getting in your own way. I mean, getting in your own way definitely is a universal experience, and it's not exclusive. Yeah. We're not immune to it because we're coaching people.
Right.
And we know the strategies. It's definitely something. I mean, we've gotten in our own way before we hit record, even today. So just know you're not alone.
Yeah, we were talking about how this is we're walking our talk. This is a new thing for us to do a podcast, and we are learning as we go and just jumping in to do it. So, this is what it looks like to do something before you're ready.
Yeah.
So let's talk about just to clarify, what does it feel like when you're in that place where you're not moving forward? I mean, we don't have to go into it too deep because probably people know what it is, but it comes up, when you're in a job that is wrong for you and you need to make a change, but maybe you tell yourself it's overwhelming, too many steps to take. I can't really let myself do that. There's all these things that go on in our brain that keeps us the same. Your brain's motivation is to keep you the same because the brain says we're alive. This is our job. We need to be alive. And if you make a change, that could lead to destruction and death. Your brain is literally that kind of primitive. So the brain is keep things the same. And so even in relationships, or what else, Dana?
Relationships, changing your career, launching a project, making a decision on a vacation you're going to take. It can get pretty, it's small and big.
Yeah.
Right? It's small and big.
Even speaking up, when you find yourself walking away from a situation and not having said what you mean to say or need to say, and you see yourself doing that over and over again, that's that function of your brain keeping you sort of on the straight path that you've been on and not trying something new and not taking the chance of doing something different. So even something as teeny and kind of granular as saying words that you really wish you could get out of your mouth, that's the same thing as not being ready to say the right thing. You don't have the right words. You don't have the right evidence. There's so many things that our brain tells us we have to have before we do something.
That's so true. There's several, people don't speak up all of the time. That's such a good example of the granular piece. Day-to-day piece. Often people don't speak up because they don't feel like their words are perfect or they don't have the right words. And I would say, 90% of the time we don't have the right words, but 100% of the time we can go back and amend what we and speaking up is such a powerful practice.
Yeah. And then
it moves you into launching new projects. as you build that muscle.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And the other thing, we were talking about this earlier too, is like when you take the chance and do something in spite of all those instincts that are telling you you're not ready, that you could prepare better, you could have more in place or more clarity, that when you do it, it actually brings more clarity. You're not going to get that clarity until you actually just take one step in that direction.
Yeah, the irony of all ironies.
I know.
Clarity, it brings confidence also. Like, so like with, like, I don't know which comes first. I don't think that it necessarily has to be, but like with clarity comes confidence, or with confidence comes clarity. But like that only can come if you are taking action.
Yes.
If you are moving through that fear or the anxiety of like, oh, I'm not prepared enough.
Yes.
I'm not ready.
Yeah.
Like, what does ready even mean?
Yeah.
Really,
I know.
What does that mean? And I think that's a good question for yourself. Like, what does ready look like? And I don't mean like, what does it look like to have it completely ready in order to launch a project, but what does ready look like in order to have the next step complete so you can make an announcement?
Yeah.
You know, start talking about launching a course, whatever it is that you're doing.
Is that our first step that we were going to tell people? Is that it was?
I was like, that sounds really familiar.
I think it might be that you know, get clear on what it is that what is the basic sort of like minimum viable information you have to take just that one step, not all the steps, not all the information, just what is the simplest thing,
right?
The simplest, lowest level thing that you need.
Even in our notes, it says like enough information, not all the information. So what do you have enough information?
Yes.
Asking yourself, like, what is that? What do I actually have to know?
Yeah.
In order to take this next action.
Yeah. Yeah. And in a real life kind of example of that, we decided to do this podcast. And our first step was we need to know what to use as a microphone. We needed to gather that information. It was such a basic thing. We needed to know what was going to sound the best of all the stupid things we have on our desks, and microphones, everything we had to test it out. So we made a little plan for doing that, just to get that one bit of information. And if we weren't kind of deciding that we're going to do this podcast, we would never have just taken that little step. So I think when you have the context of like, I have this big dream of something I want to do, you break it into this first step, right?
Yeah, right. It's like, it goes back to like the idea of SMART goals or goals at all. You just write down all the actions you have to do.
Yes.
And the thing that I think we could say around the goals is like, we're trying to say, take the action after each little piece.
Yeah.
Build on each little piece. The goal is never going to be accomplished if you're not taking those.
Yeah. Yeah. And we wouldn't have, if we hadn't done the microphones, we did it on Zoom, we did a recording and like figured it out, but we never would have then moved into like, okay, what platform are we going to use for this? And now we're on StreamYard. So we wouldn't have known what our next step was if we hadn't taken that first step. And
so true.
And talk to people, like we mentioned.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, that's also like, not only that, but we integrated, or really Annie integrated this other piece that we recommend, which is like, enroll mentors or people that you can check in with. They can do reality checks, or just people who are resourced or know what you don't know.
Yes.
And Annie went to some people, a community of people that she knows, and asked for some advice, and they said, you have to use StreamYard. And which is very different for me, I just trusted that.
Yeah.
I often will be like, no, I need to get into the minutia and create a spreadsheet and do all these comparisons. And I am practicing what I preach in this process and just saying, okay, great. That's what we're going to use. Like,
same with me. And you know, it's a new platform. So neither of us have used this before.
Yeah.
And then our next step was you went and checked it out, and I could relax knowing you were checking it out. Yeah. And then today you were coming on, and I got on just to check it out too. And so like these little baby steps can be taken to get us toward where we want to go. And we don't know how all of StreamYard works. We just hit record. We're lucky we could get each other on the screen together, and it doesn't matter, which leads to the second point, Dana, in our 3 simple steps is
totally.
Is
be willing to be imperfect. You know?
Like and you added this into our summary that, you know, check that with somebody you trust, because I am really good at telling myself I'm not being a perfectionist. I just need it to look a certain way. And it's not always true that it has to be a certain way. I always get good feedback from you about that kind of thing. And I do check in with you frequently about things. And I also was telling my other community that you referenced, and they were just like, tough love. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. Just move on and hit record. And so it helps to have people who care about you and know you well enough to call you on your stuff. And often, actually, that's what we do as coaches for clients. Like, you know, telling them, hey, you sure that really is what you think it is there? You know?
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, it's really a value add to be in a relationship with a colleague who's also a coach, like to have a friend who's also a coach. We definitely do reality checks for each other. And then enrolling anybody in your life, you know, that knows something about what you're doing. It could be, I want to learn pickleball. You know? It could be, I need to learn how to drive a stick. Like, it doesn't have to be launching a huge project, but like finding somebody in your community and in your life who knows what you don't know, and be willing to ask them.
And I feel like I want to say the difference between a friend and a coach is that sometimes our friends have an agenda that they're not even aware of. They love us. They want certain things for us, and they can't help but have sort of either a stake in the game or wishes and dreams for us. And the difference is when you work with a coach, it's really about digging into what you want for yourself and what actually seems right in your head. So
and what are your motivations? I think also friends, like they want what's best for us. Friends, partners, whatever, like they want what's best for us. They often have their own agenda, and they often have really fixed ideas of like how we are motivated and what we do. And like, I think in having a coach, you can dig into actually really getting to know the truth of that rather than an outside observer or what you've been assuming about yourself the whole time. And then it is a difference. And I will say, like, both of us have to put different pieces of our friendship in pockets as we like coach each other, for sure.
But that's our training. So I think like we know to do that, but friends and family don't necessarily even think of that. That's not their thing. There's also another layer that I think is interesting when I'm thinking of a particular client of mine that when we talk, I know her so well from all of our conversations that it is possible for me to see some patterns that she may not see for herself in what choices she's making, or when she's speaking up or not speaking up, or what sort of stories are coming along with telling herself she's not ready to do something. And so that is also really helpful, because that's when you see your stories and you see your patterns, the conditioning, you know, you get from your family, that's that aha moment where you can actually make a major kind of fundamental change inside yourself about how you think, as opposed to just forcing yourself through to do something that's uncomfortable, like starting before you're ready. When you see what's actually at play there, when I, you know, grew up, I had to have this safety because of these reasons. And, you know, in coaching, we don't necessarily do psychology kinds of analysis, but knowing somebody and knowing what goes on for them can be really helpful in understanding themselves. And we'll always think of new reasons to not start before we're ready, but like it just helps make a real kind of foundational change when you understand what's going on in your own brain.
100%, and it is true. Like, we don't dive deep into what your past is, but historical information can be very helpful.
It is.
I mean, I will say to clients, like, it's good for you to know where you came from.
Yeah.
If you're healing that piece, this like historical piece, that's not the work I'm gonna be doing. That's a therapist's work. We're gonna move forward from where you're at.
Yeah.
And knowing like where you came from, or like in my language, your like wounds or history will be helpful moving forward.
Yeah. It's interesting. Everybody has their own take on it, because I call it conditioning. Like,
that's like, actually a way better, because I think wound is like,
well, it depends on what you're working on, I think. Well, and it depends on what the person's language is. Some people are really comfortable with that.
Yeah.
I work more with executives.
The traumas.
So they're not
like, oh, I'm going to talk about my wound or my trauma.
Right.
Really. But they will talk about what they feel like they've been conditioned to. Help themselves.
Yeah. So we can get at the same thing. Like,
and my clients will talk about those things for the most.
Yeah. I think it just, whatever helps us access what is actually going on in our brain, and understanding that our brain is trying to keep us safe. It's not evil. It's not sabotaging us necessarily. It just doesn't know any better. Our brain is primitive, and it's trying to protect us. And that's where the saboteurs live, because they're trying to keep us safe and the same, and away from pain, away from all the bad things. But we can make a conscious choice to do something different, especially when we're armed with that information about our conditioning or our wound that might be creating that roadblock for us. It might appear to be a very logical reason not to move forward, when it's, upon examination, maybe not necessarily logical. It seems like it at first.
Yeah. I agree. I'm thinking, as you're talking, I'm thinking about how that really feeds into perfectionism, which I think is part of step 2, which is like, moving into just doing it anyway. Because I feel like historically, in my experience, perfectionism is a seed that gets planted pretty early in life.
Yes.
Like, can't fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, one wrong move, you're dead. You'll hear that a lot when people are talking about conditioning or wounds. Like, I felt like I had to be perfect in order to get what I needed or wanted. And that could be in any scenario. That does not have to be your parents. That could be in soccer. That could be at school. That could be with a friend. Like,
so many different.
It doesn't matter, but it's like this really strong. It's a stronghold on you.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think. So sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna be like, getting to a place where you're willing to abandon perfectionism is not easy. I'm not gonna claim that that's easy. It's some people's life's work.
Yeah.
But it's so key to be able to take these big actions that create great, excellent, fantastic, delightful change in your life.
Yeah. All right. So to recap, we have gather enough information, not all the information, just enough that you can take that first step. 2 is get comfortable with imperfection. We're just going to embrace the fact that it will be imperfect, and
100%.
Get comfortable knowing that it's not going to be perfect. Don't even think that that's an option right now. And check it in both cases, check yourself with somebody you trust, so that you can have a reality check about the stories that you're telling yourself about why you're not moving forward, the things that are more important than moving forward. And then what's 3 for the
3 is take one step. Don't take all of the steps. Like, what is the smallest action you can take today?
Yes.
Is it send the email, make the phone call, post on social media, like update your resume, start a conversation, speak up after the fact.
Sure.
You know that thing you said yesterday?
Yeah.
I just have some.
Just want to follow up. Yeah.
Just want to follow up. Like the smallest action you can take today to just move that project forward.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think people, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I don't know that I've said this already. Maybe I have, but like when I say project, it doesn't have to be actually like, oh, I'm building a house or, oh, I'm launching a business. It can be like, my project is abandoning perfectionism. That's my theme for the month.
Right.
It could be, my project is tending to this conditioning that I've experienced and shifting the way I approach it. So project, I'm using that word pretty loosely.
No, I have a personal example of that. I'm a woman of a certain age and I should be lifting weights is what I understand. And I don't like it at all. And so it's a project for me to make that part of my life. I really don't like it. And so, and I also love being cozy in the morning. And I know if I don't do something I don't like first thing in the morning, then I'm never going to do it. And so I had to make this one baby step to get this project going of saying to myself, I am not putting on my robe first thing when I wake up in the morning. I'm putting on my sweatpants. Like just that one baby step of like making a little rule for myself.
Yes.
And it's very interesting now that I'm thinking about it. Like the things that my brain is telling me when I want to put on my robe instead of lift weights is, you deserve comfort. You deserve a cozy spot. Waking up is hard. Like all this stuff is going on in my brain that is making me stay the same instead of letting me try something different, even though I really want what's on the other side of doing this new behavior.
Yeah.
My brain, even in that dumb little situation, is sort of making me feel like bad things will happen if I don't put on my robe. And so,
I mean, that's advanced saboteur. That's advanced self-talk right there, because this is like what I would refer to as like a reparenting talk. Like you deserve cozy. You deserve to be held in this robe. You deserve to have this morning that you have. Yeah. Which is actually true.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's also the saboteur disguising like, oh, and then you won't build muscle. You won't lift these weights, which is really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right? We don't want to do that anyway. It's so
like insidious how our brain can like convince us of things. And so we have to like kind of override it with choosing imperfection, like choosing, I'm not going to have a perfect, beautiful tea in my robe, reading a book morning. Like I'm going to get up and put on something that I don't love wearing, sweatpants, and I don't love like just getting up and doing something hard, but I'm going to choose to kind of just make one step in that direction.
Yes, right. You're just putting on sweatpants, right? Like that's all you're doing.
Yeah.
It's all you have to do.
Yeah, it's all I have to do. And then you add in little pieces. I'm like, okay, I'm going to give myself permission to not wear shoes when I work out. I'm going to wear my slippers because like, it sounds stupid, but like, that's a big barrier for, I don't know. Anyway, like making these teeny little choices that override the wily sort of brain stories that we're getting told.
I just saw something where someone was saying, make your goal embarrassingly low.
Yes.
The bar is embarrassingly low. And I love that.
Yes.
Like, I'm going to wash one dish, or I'm just going to put soap on the sponge.
Yes.
Like, embarrassingly low. And then do it and see what happens. You know?
Yeah.
And I don't hear, I'm not shaming you, but like, just, like, I think it's true. Like we are just like, if it's going to be a goal at all, it's got to be lofty, or if it's going to be worth doing at all, it's got to be perfect. And that's really the lie. It's a lie. There's a collection of lies we store in our brain.
Yeah.
But like that is the you can hear it pretty clearly. If or why often you know, which
yeah,
is a real bummer, I gotta say.
It's this juxtaposition where you're allowing yourself to have a goal that's kind of lofty and big. Like, I want to start a podcast, or I want to have toned muscles, or whatever that big picture changes that you want. And then all these little teeny goals are underneath it, and teeny decisions that you're making. And I feel like there has to be both, like something that you really want, and then and all of the stuff that we've talked about today exists down here, where you're making one decision, you're gathering enough information, you are embracing imperfection, you're taking just one step, not all the steps, and in order to get to this thing up here. The other,
go ahead.
Well, the other thing I wanted to say about that is sometimes we also have to get to the point where we can tell our own brain, look, I'm at the point where not taking steps toward having this thing is going to have an outcome I really don't want. Like, so uncomfortable, that I'll be so mad at myself that I don't do this, that I'm going to have to just start doing this stuff that we're talking about down here. I'm just going to take that one dumb step forward. I'm just going to put soap on the sponge, you know? I'm just going to not wear my robe first thing in the morning. Like, but it has to get to the point where you're like, you want it so much that you're going to you're willing be really sad if you don't let yourself just start small. You know?
I mean, I come from a recovery community where you will hear it, at some point in your journey there, if the pain is bigger than the payoff, you'll change the behavior.
Yes.
And when I heard that, the example was, I went back to college in early recovery, and I was procrastinating doing every big project. Every big project got done literally the night before it was due. And someone said to me, when that gets uncomfortable enough, when the pain is like as uncomfortable as it can get, you will change it. But until then, you're actually getting some sort of payoff, right? And I was getting, like, what I know now, and I didn't know then, is if I don't wait for a little bit of a fire to be under my ass, it won't get done. So I am a last minute getter doner, basically. But now I have a little more skill, and I'm not putting myself in pain, basically. Like, I'm not grasping at getting things done. But it is that idea, like, when you get uncomfortable enough, you will change. Oh, Annie's computer died, y'all. She'll be back. In fact, she's back now. I can hear her. Oh, no. Let's just wait a few minutes and see if she comes back. There she is.
My computer died. And so my sound might be different now because I don't have the mic. We'll see.
Oh, no, it sounds pretty.
What
I was saying is, like, it doesn't have to be painful. It can just be uncomfortable enough that you're willing to make the change, right?
Yeah. And I think that's also the place where we can tell our brain, no, you're not the boss now. Because I know rationally that this is what I want, and I'm tired of the pain of not having it. So we're going to move forward in this way.
I mean, big liar face.
Big liar face.
Like, big liar.
Big liar. What were you saying? Something like pants fire or something
liar,
like that?
Liar, pants on fire.
Yeah. All right, let's recap.
Okay.
Our thing.
Recap. I am scrolling to make sure. So
I'm going to pick it.
We've done step one. We've already recapped it, but I'm going to say it again, which is like, gather enough information, not all the information. Right?
Yeah.
Step two is be willing to be imperfect, right? Like,
embrace it.
Just do it. Basically, feel the fear and do it anyway.
Yeah.
And then take one step, like one tiny little step. Put the soap on the sponge. Put the robe, or don't put the robe on. Put sweats on. You know, like the smallest step you can. And that's all that has to be done, by the way. I don't hear Annie saying, yeah, so morning one, I put my sweats on and worked out. Like, and maybe that's what she did, but, and I don't want to speak for her, but like many people will put the sweats on for weeks. I can't tell you how many times I went to the gym and just toured it before I ever, like several times before I ever felt it, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it is the small step.
And if we're finding that, you know, you're doing the one thing or even doing that one thing is too hard, then it has to be smaller.
Yeah.
Right? Like it just has to be smaller. And until you get, as you said, to the most embarrassing level, the most embarrassing low bar of it, of expectation for yourself. And, you know.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So we talked about also, like, well, you know, when you're lying to yourself, when you're gathering all the information rather than just some of the information.
Yeah.
You know, you're being not smart and cautious, but avoiding something when you just keep not doing it, you know? Like if it's something in your heart you really want and you just keep telling yourself that you need to be more ready, you are avoiding something important. If it's really important to you, it's important to you.
Like, and also I will just say, like, you're like, the truth is, if you don't feel ready, you're probably ready, because what does ready even feel like in this?
Yes. Yes.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Because
we
don't get there.
No. You're not ready for the end. Yes, you're not ready for the end. You're ready for the very beginning. You're ready for just this first beginning step. Ready doesn't mean it's done. It just means you're entering the process at whatever micro step you're taking.
Yeah.
And I will say also, your brain will reach a new normal with you. It will get comfortable with each new level of difference that you're introducing into your life. Your brain will then accept it. And so you'll have the next level that you've got to convince your brain is safe to get to.
Yeah, it'll meet you where you're at.
Exactly.
And then there's a new level.
Yeah. You know? And it is incremental. You can't expect to make this big leap. Your brain will like literally stop you because it is in charge of keeping you alive. And its primitive job is just to keep things the same.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like really, it feels, your brain feels life or death.
That's how it operates. That's the only language it speaks.
Simply putting sweats on. Like, so remember that too. Like, oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dana.
Thank you.
So do you have any suggestions like about where they can get more information, or do you want to let people know where to find you?
Yeah. You can find out more about me at my website, which is loveyourlife.co. Exactly how you would spell it, .co. Or find me on Facebook and Instagram with the same handle.
You're lucky you got that. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, that's where you find me.
Yeah.
Reach out if you have any questions. I'm open to conversation. I think we both are. Like,
yeah.
We have an open door policy.
Yeah. Always happy to.
How about you, Annie? Where are people going to find you?
Just anniekip.com. It's ANNIEKIP with one P.com. So everything is there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dana. This was fun.
Thank you.
All right.
I can't wait for the next one.
Me too. All right. Bye. Bye.